Hello and welcome back to Newfoundland and Labrador Studies 2205. This is Unit 2, The Roots of Our Culture. I'm Miss Fleming, and of course I'm here with you for this course. This is Section 5 on the residential fishery. Lesson 1, we're going to talk about visual storytelling. So, we've already explored storytelling in this unit, but we're going to talk about a different type today. Storytelling can take on different forms, such as telling a story through music, interpretive dance, theater, and visual art. A great form of storytelling and visual art together is comic art. This is called visual storytelling. So let's talk about a brief history of comic art. Humans have used visuals to tell stories long before there was even the written word. Drawings found on the walls of caves date as far back as 30,000 years ago. A great example is the caves of Lascaux in France. This image is from a particular part of the caves called the Hall of the Bulls, and the people who painted these images showed images of their lifestyle, the animals that they hunted, or the animals that were in their area. But perhaps the earliest example of sequential art in Europe dates to the 1070s CE. It is an embroidered cloth depicting the Norman conquest of England. And if you're not sure what sequential art is, it's artwork that uses images in a specific order with the purpose of graphic storytelling. So if you view it in the correct order, you can figure out the story. Visual art has also been used to satirize politics or critique society in Europe since the 1700s. Satire is the use of irony and sarcasm to ridicule human fault in society. It's often used in what's called political cartoons, which you'll learn about later in the section. A great example of this is Mariage à la Mode by William Hogarth, which shows the disastrous results of upper-class arranged marriages. This is one of the images in the sequence, and it shows people bartering and negotiating about the marriage instead of the marriage being about love. In the early 1800s, Japanese artist Katsushika Hokusai began using woodcuts displayed in sequential order, and he called these pictures manga, which means whimsical sketches. Manga has influenced art styles and cartoons all over the world. This is an enhanced image of one of his pieces, which you may recognize. Then, at the beginning of the 20th century, newspaper publisher Joseph Pulitzer began using comic art to increase newspaper sales. He went on to found the Pulitzer Prize for Journalism and Literature. And in appropriate fashion, the graphic novel Maus was awarded the Pulitzer Prize in 1992. The long-form comic depicts the story of a survivor of the Holocaust, and characters of different nationalities are depicted as animals. If you've never had the chance to read Maus, I suggest that you do so. It really gives an engaging perspective of what it was like, and it does so in a visual way that helps you understand it really well. Let's talk about comic art today. Today, comic art is part of our popular culture. Political cartoons and comic strips are featured in most newspapers and news publications. Graphic novels and mangas are very popular genres of literature. And comic art is an integral part of storytelling in our society. I've included on this slide some of my favorite pieces. I love Peanuts, and there's Mr. Snoopy, and Garfield the cat, who's absolutely wonderful. This over here is Watchmen, which is a graphic novel. It takes a different perspective of superheroes. It's really worth the read. There's also a film about it. And lastly is a magazine depicting my favorite manga, Sailor Moon. So now it's time to review. Please complete the activities that I have for you in Brightspace, and I really hope that you enjoy learning about visual storytelling.